Hi everyone, so today I am barefaced because I thought I'd do a get ready with me and talk about some things that have been on my mind because it's been a long time since I've really kind of just sit in front of the camera and just rambled a little, and I always find it quite therapeutic. I was watching Jen Loves Review's live stream. I wasn't actually around when she was live because, well, I live on the other side of the planet. So anyway, Jen Loves Review was doing a live stream and she was talking about it was like 1 hour long, and I think I watched it about half an hour before I had to put Bowie to sleep, but Joey to sleep. Bowie and Joey. And she was talking about brand pleasing, and that kind of just triggered a whole conversation in my mind. She was saying basically that, you know, a lot of people might tiptoe around what they say because they don't want to offend a brand and then, you know, have the risk of being taken off a PR list. It's kind of one of those things that I, as a creator, have never really thought about doing, like brand pleasing. There are a lot of YouTubers out there, and PR companies do have their pick because there are so many people now, so many people that are reviewing products, big and small. And I think on top of that, PR companies are getting kind of smarter, and they're not just sending products to, you know, big YouTubers with 1 million plus viewers, but also smaller channels, because you know, consumers don't necessarily just watch one review. They might look at several different people's opinions before they purchase something, which I think is a smart idea from a consumer point of view. It's hard to say whether or not you're gonna like a product just based off one person's review, because, you know, everyone's got different skin types, different ways of applying things. I always look at several reviews before I decide on purchasing something. So a lot of people are getting sent products that aren't necessarily big YouTubers, and obviously if you're getting PR, you don't want to necessarily, like, some people obviously they don't care so much and they'll still say their opinion, but it might be less filtered if, you know, you were worried about getting off that PR list. I don't know, I just thought it was a really interesting topic to talk about. So when I first started YouTube, I did actually have my PO box listed in the description bar for a while, because I thought, well, you know, if someone wants to send me something, I'm happy to review it. And I have been contacted once to actually get sent products to do a look, and that was a small indie brand, Genesis Cosmetics. They're a Melbourne-based brand, and I thought that was pretty cool because I do feature a lot of indie makeup on my channel, a lot of smaller brands, smaller independent brands. And then after a while, I decided to move my PO box altogether, and that was because I kind of realized that, first of all, no one was sending anything, or no one was reaching out to me except, you know, brands that I think purchase their like subscriber list or whatever off Google and then like send mass emails about wanting to review products that are completely out of my, like, it's not even related to my channel. Teeth whitening and brand ambassador for jewelry, which I swear, if I look up all the emails, I could probably fit a whole screen of those kind of emails. And there was a phase, I feel like, in YouTube, maybe like a year ago, where people were reviewing all those sorts of weird products. I do think you do lose a little bit of respect from your viewers if you're doing that kind of thing. I just feel like they're kind of scams and a cheap way for PR companies to get you to review something. Because if you think about it, actually think about how much time it takes to get a video up, to edit, to film, to actually piece everything together. Sometimes I do B-roll. That takes a lot of time. We're talking multiple days because I don't have a long stretch of time to actually film or edit. So it takes me quite a lot of days to actually piece things together. And I mean, for a PR company, it's kind of a smart thing to do to get the word out, to get your brand out. And there are a lot of people that are happy to accept your products. A lot of the stuff that was being offered to me and I was getting emails, constant emails about, was just not in line with my channel. And when I think about all the time it takes to edit and stuff, it's really not worth it. What I realized after a while was my time is precious. I hardly have, like, I don't have very much time in the day to actually do the stuff that I need to get done. And I just don't have time to make videos about products that I am not passionate about, that I am not interested in. And to make a video on like teeth whitening and jewelry and stuff that is completely not in line with what I do just doesn't make sense. Instead of that, I could be filming things that I'm generally interested in, because I have a whole book, a notepad of things that I actually want to film. If I was to get free stuff, that would be pushed aside, the things that I'm interested in filming, and those things would be prioritized, which might not necessarily be a good thing for not only my channel, because people aren't necessarily interested in that product, but also it kind of takes the joy out of, in fact, doing a channel in the first place. I do not want to be dictated by companies sending me products, if that makes sense. Honestly, I've only ever received PR from 2 companies. That the first one I was talking about is the indie brand, and then Miniso. And the reason why I actually get anything from Miniso is because I have a share in the business. I'm invested in the product, so it's not like I don't believe in it at all. It won't take away from my channel, because I feel like I do feature a lot of Asian makeup, a lot of indie makeup, a lot of high-end makeup, so it's kind of in line with everything I'm doing. It's not stuff that is gonna come across as really disingenuous to my audience. Sorry, I'm not actually saying what I'm using, by the way, but I will leave everything in the description bar below if you wanna know. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to give my 2 cents on that, because it is one of those things that when I was just starting out, I feel like getting PR and getting free stuff was a measure of success, and now my thoughts on it is completely different. I'm actually glad I don't get PR, because I see that as a lot of work, and a lot of work that I don't have time to put in, and honestly, I'm completely happy buying my own products. I mean, unless it is a company sending me stuff I want to use and want to buy, which there are very few, like I think there'd be very few companies that I would want free products from, and the ones that would send them don't generally have PR lists, because they're smaller indie brands like Makeup Monsters. Smaller indie brands typically don't send out products because they're small. I feel like they don't have as much, obviously, budget for that, which I totally understand, and I'm happy to support the smaller brands and buy products myself that I really want to try, and then give my own thoughts. And on top of that, once I get it, I can actually say whatever I want. I don't have to tiptoe my way around things. I don't have to, yeah, get worried what that company is going to think about me, and the consequences, you know, if I don't like the product. So that's a good thing as well. Today I am doing kind of a more coverage than I'm used to, because my skin is doing really badly. I'm having this bad breakout, I think due to some skincare that I've tried out, and it's not going great, which is really sad, because throughout my entire pregnancy and even months after Joey came along, my skin has been really good, like better than it has been in years. What else do I want to talk about? I'm gonna do cream contour. I got this in Ulta when I was in New York. I got this because, you know, Tim Talley was raving about how good these brushes were, and I, for a while, had no idea what to do with this shape brush, but I find that it works really well to apply cream contour, so that's what I use it for. I'm one of those people that I have a hard time talking and putting on makeup at the same time. I feel like it is a skill that I do not have, and I need to work on it. So yeah, that is the long-winded story of why I took down my PR box and my current thoughts on PR. It's funny because I was watching Laura May Beauty's video on PR and her take on it. I think she's got a similar mentality to me. She is a working makeup artist. She uploads very frequently. So she said that actually recently when she's gotten emails from companies wanting to kind of send her stuff, she said, you know, I am doing things on my own terms, and I'm telling companies straight up that, look, I may or may not review your product, but if you are happy to send it to me anyway, then please feel free, because honestly, she doesn't necessarily have a lot of time to do that. And I thought that was a great way of thinking about it. She said that she did say something along those lines to a PR company or a company that wanted to send her products, and they still sent them to her anyway. So I think that's awesome that you know, she's doing things on her own terms and being upfront and realistic about what she can do on her channel and what, you know, whether or not she's going to review product. Because when you're doing that many videos a week and when you're working full-time, it is really hard to juggle all that. So I kind of decided that that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I have done for a few people that have reached out to me. And I said, hey, you know, I don't encourage companies to send me PR because I do 1 to 2 videos a week, and that already takes a lot of time. And you know, I don't want to be pressured to like a product. So if I like it, I may feature on my video, but I may not. And if you're happy with that, feel free to send it to me. And one company didn't reply at all, and the other one said, thanks for your honesty, but unfortunately we'll need a review in lieu of a free product. So I said, okay, good luck, and went my merry way. So I do think you can also kind of make up your own terms and decide what you want to do, and how much work you want to put in, because obviously it is work to edit these videos, film these videos, all that. Your time is precious, my time is precious, and I only want to be featuring products that I like and want to feature. I don't want to feel pressured to do this because this is not a job. This is a hobby and I want to enjoy this. That's what I'm going to do from now on. If companies want to reach out to me, I'm just going to put it up there and say, hey, I may or may not feature it. But if you're happy with those terms, feel free to send it to me. And I tell you, that's gonna stop emails, probably. Speaking of products being sent to me, Miniso did send out some products that I will be doing a video very shortly, because I don't want to get up and get my usual blush, which I've been using, which is Luster from NARS, because that's in my project pan. It's a pink blush. It's quite pretty. So yeah, I've done a lot of talking. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on, you know, brand pleasing, your thoughts on getting sent products. If you're a content creator, do you get sent products and do you feature them or do you not? Or let me know. So I am going to use this palette. This is the MAC and Jeremy Scott palette that I got on Selfridges. I snagged like one of the last ones because I saw that there were only 4 left. I actually watched heaps of reviews. I read Tim Taller's review. I know that this is not supposed to be a good palette, but I'm weak and I bought it anyway. Look, I'm not the perfect person. I'm not one of those people that necessarily has control of my impulses. By the way, I'm using the taupe in that palette because again, I'm lazy and I don't want to get up to actually get any products that aren't in front of me. I'm not the perfect project panner. I'm not a minimalist. So every now and again, I'm going to make purchases that aren't necessarily the smartest decision. Just putting it out there. And I know this wasn't, but the collector in me kind of wanted to have it. And to be honest, I have actually created quite a few looks that I've really enjoyed from this palette. I'm not exactly sure what kind of look I want to do today, but I haven't really touched any of the blues or purples, so maybe I will do a look with those shades. I'm using my Sonia G brush because once they came out in individuals, I bought a few of the eyeshadow brushes because I do like eyeshadow brushes. Her face brushes are like the fan type shape brushes, and I don't use brushes like that with those kind of shapes. So I'm gonna kind of sweep this pastel lavender on my lid. And pastels are very hit and miss for me. Oftentimes they look terrible. This one's looking okay. I really feel like I should have probably written some notes because when I don't, my thoughts are just all over the place. I'm complete scatterbrain. Shall we add some blue in there? Let's go pastel. Might as well, like I'm already doing pastel in the crease. But yeah, I mean, I know it might sound like I'm hating on PR and people that get PR. I'm not. I think it's great that people get PR, and I think oftentimes it makes sense. It gets the message out there, like, you know, people, a lot of new products people want to hear about, and a lot of the channels, smaller channels as well, do great jobs reviewing them and featuring them. And I often do like to watch a variety of people with different opinions and different skin types and blah, 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 talk about products that are often sent to them. I do think it definitely needs to be disclosed, obviously. I've just come to the realization that it's not for me. And if you're not getting PR, don't feel like you're a failure, because you're not. I'm not sure how I feel about this whole look. I think I need to add, I'm gonna add some green. I'm using the other side of the same brush to actually just add it in. I've been watching a lot of those videos where people talk about videos that they don't like to watch in the community tag, and the one created by Kaylee Boutte, who talks about videos that she doesn't like to watch. And a lot of people do mention PR unboxings, and I totally can see why people don't like it. I think the major reason for that is because a lot of them are done not very well. And to be honest, how well can you do a PR unboxing? Because it's literally someone sitting in front of the camera opening up their mail. It does come across sometimes as bragging, especially when people put the dollar amount of how much they got sent. You know, I think there are a lot of examples where people have just kind of given PR a bad name, because I don't always think it's bad. I think it is good that companies do send PR, because it's good to actually know what's being released. Otherwise, if you don't really send out PR, then you know, no one's gonna know about your product being released. And I think some brands really need to actually start doing more PR. How do you feel about this pastel kind of look? I don't know, I still don't think pastels really look very good on me. People still seem to click on them though, because they get really good views, those kind of videos. I mean, there might be a bit of a disconnect between creators and what they don't like to watch versus the rest of the YouTube beauty community. Let me know what your opinions on PR unboxings are. Do you like to watch them? Do you think there's a good way of people actually unboxing their makeup? I don't know. I'm very curious to know how the black is in this palette. Like, black in a palette is often a good indication of how good sometimes that palette can be. It's not a very black. Even just pushing it in as a liner, it's kind of gray. Let's be real, I think a lot of people that bought this palette bought it for the packaging and not for the quality. I feel like in a way it's kind of a pity, because this is one of the first MAC purchases that I bought in ages, because all of their releases just don't interest me these days. You know what, I kind of feel like bringing that purple up a little bit into my brows so that it's more prominent. And I'm gonna use the same products that I've been using for the past few months, which is this Givenchy mascara, which I think is great for the upper lash line, but if you put it on the lower lash line, it's gonna smudge like crazy. I'm gonna use the Miniso Volume Dream mascara on my lower lash line. I feel like this is a really black mascara, which is why I like it for the lower lash line, plus it does not budge. So before, when my fringe was covering my eyes, I could pretty much fluke my way through doing my brows, but I feel like because they're exposed, I have to just take a little bit more effort to fill them in. I'm also going to use my Suqqu. It's a eyebrow pen thing. It looks quite natural on black hair. I know I'm really quiet right now, but I feel like doing brows requires some silence and concentration. For my lips, I'm just going to use this colored Raine matte lipstick in Satin Creme. Pretty sure it's a matte lipstick, but it's called Satin Creme. So this is the finished look, and yes, I did change because it is actually pretty warm outside, but I hope that all makes sense. I think the moral of the story, or the conclusion that I'm trying to get to, is that, you know, I don't think we should feel a need to brand please. I don't feel that we should necessarily compromise what we want to say for free products, because I think, you know, trust is a massive commodity and you just don't want to risk that. Going on the bandwagon of disliking things because that's going to get views, I think also that's not a great thing to do either. Once you get those views, are people going to really stick around because they really genuinely feel that they're hearing your opinions and not fabricated for views? I really hope I'm not missing out on anything, because I feel like I am. Once I edit this, I'm gonna be like, I wish I said this. But anyway, let's have a dialogue in the comments below, and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to see more of my face, please subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.